Hi, I'm Seth Miller, and this is the WVU Men's Basketball Sports Chat at thedpost.com. I'm here with WVU Men's Basketball beat writer Justin Jackson. And Justin, the Mountaineers had a pretty historic win Tuesday night against Kansas. What would you say does that for a program like WVU? What is the significance of a win against number one?
I think the first thing about that game, people are certainly going to remember, anytime you beat a number one ranked team in the country, teams, fans and players and coaches are going to remember that. I think there was so much more around the game that people will certainly remember more with the huge snowstorm and the traffic jams and people, taking up to like 4 hours to just get across town. And the Kansas team had a police escort and still took an hour to get to the game. And coaches and players were talking about after the game how they had to run up Beechhurst Avenue to get to the Coliseum on time. And certainly those kinds of memories go into winning the game. As far as a significant standpoint, it's the first win by WVU over a number one ranked team since 1983. So you're talking about more than 30 years. The players, weren't even born yet in 1983. So it's certainly a very significant win, a win that will probably propel West Virginia back into the top 10. They were ranked number 10 this week in the coaches poll, 11 in the writers poll. They'll certainly move back into the top 10 now. Since 2010, and so all of those things are certainly significant. When you beat a number one team, it also gives you a big boost nationally, and people start kind of paying attention and taking a look at your program, and you certainly get a lot more recognition. So all of those things will certainly help, and they all kind of feed into the story of the night, of everything that went around it and everything that happened in that game. It was certainly a magical night for the team.
Absolutely. And moving on, Saturday, the road for West Virginia doesn't get much easier. Coming off a upset win over number one, they now have to travel and face number two Oklahoma.
Yeah.
So what can we expect from the team or even the matchups against Oklahoma?
And that really kind of gives you an idea of just how difficult the Big 12 is this year. You think, okay, well, you beat the number one ranked team in the country, and okay, maybe we'll get a couple days off and have an easy game come on. Well, no, you don't, because now you play number one Kansas at home, and then you got to travel to Oklahoma and play the number two Sooners, who probably have the best player in the country, in Buddy Hield. He's averaging over 23 points a game, and he leads the Big 12 in scoring. And he had 46 points against Kansas when they in that triple overtime game earlier in the year. So everyone knows who Buddy Hield is. Jordan Woodard is certainly another high scoring guard that the Sooners have. Oklahoma probably has maybe the best set of guards in the league, maybe if not the entire country. And then of course Buddy Hield leads that. But you go from Kansas to Oklahoma, and it doesn't get any easier. And there's some significance to it. West Virginia is 2-5 against Oklahoma since joining the Big 12. Their two wins have been at the Coliseum. They have never gone into Stillwater and won at Oklahoma. It's a tough place to play. The fans are right there on you. It's a loud arena, and of course when Oklahoma's playing well, they're very tough to guard. Kind of doing a little bit of research, looking back at teams. It's kind of a unique situation playing number one and number two in back-to-back games. The last time it happened, and this is all kind of centers around Big 8, Big 12 kind of history here. The last team to do it was Missouri in 1997, and they split with number one and number two. The last team to beat a number one and number two in back-to-back games was Kansas in 1989. And then oddly enough, Oklahoma in 1990 beat a number one ranked team twice in back-to-back games. So you're talking about WVU has a chance to really kind of add to some Big 12 history here if they can go into Stillwater and beat Oklahoma right after beating number one Kansas.
Certainly has a chance to make this a magical season.
Oh yeah.
Be one of those few teams that's able to accomplish that kind of feat. And I really think this year Huggins has the team he's kind of always wanted to develop. Tough physical defense, rebounding. Obviously, lead the league or even the nation in turnovers.
Yeah, absolutely.
Points off turnovers like that. So Let's hope for the best, and we'll see what happens on Saturday.
Yeah, good deal. I think defensively, you're right. They are kind of getting back to what he had in mind. Obviously, the press is a little different than what he had started with when he first got to West Virginia. It brings a different aspect. They are a much better half-court defensive team now than they were last year. So you kind of add that with the press, and they are making their mark with defense this season.
Well, that about wraps it up for the men's basketball sports chat. Make sure to catch more coverage on the men's basketball team at thedpost.com.